Greetings, it's Doc Griffin, your swing surgeon, director of club fitting operations, and it's time again for the doctor's house call. I'm fielding another question that's come in to us off the blog. Don has sent it to me and asked me to handle this one. It's from Dick Anderwall, and he says to Don, I receive a weekly newsletter from my investment advisor. What are those? In addition to the market information, there is usually some information on non-investment topics. I could go there, but I'm going to let that one pass too. Anyway, in today's issue was the following advice for golfers. No, I can't. I find it interesting they're having trouble with the market, but yet they're going to give golfers advice. But anyway, that being said, the advice for golfers dealt with tempo. It says golf tempo refers to your overall swing speed, the total amount of time it takes to create your swing from beginning to end. Some players have a relatively fast tempo while others have a slower tempo. A golfer's optimum tempo is often related to his or her personalities, and yours should be too. Golfers get into trouble when they either slow down or speed up their natural tempo. Most often, the tendency is to speed up with the longer clubs to gain extra yards, especially with the driver. When your tempo starts varying from club to club, the timing required to hit constant or consistent golf shots is destroyed. For every club in the bag, the tempo or time it takes to make the swing from start to finish should be the same. For example, it should take the same amount of time to make a swing with your pitching wedge as it does with the 7-iron or the driver. What varies is the speed of the club head. Because the driver is longer than the pitching wedge, the club head moves faster throughout the swing, but if it takes 2 seconds to swing a pitching wedge, it should take the same 2 seconds to swing the driver. Dick asks, do you agree? Would you give the same advice to PPGA students? Many thanks and keep up the good work. I look forward to each daily tip. Now, let me ask you something. Honestly, does it make sense to you guys that I should swing a pitching wedge at the same tempo, pitching wedge being 35.75 as a normal standard men's length pitching wedge, at the same speed that I'm going to, or same tempo that I'm going to swing a 43.5-inch driver? I mean, seriously, how many people think that makes sense? Raise your hands up. Okay, I see not many of you raise your hands. Well, let's deal with something. First of all, let's deal with a few definitions. Tempo. This says refers to your overall swing speed. That's wrong. Tempo really doesn't refer to swing speed. Speed is speed. That's miles per hour. Tempo is a measurement of time. Okay? Tempo is the measurement of time from the time you start the club back to the time you hit the golf ball. Now it does go on and say that correctly a little later in the advice there. So tempo is the time it takes from when you start the club back to the time that you make impact with the golf ball. So you're thinking, well, it can't be the same. There has to be a varying tempo. Let me tell you something. That article or advice is absolutely spot on, 100% correct. Your tempo should not vary whether you're hitting a pitching wedge, a 7-iron, a 3 hybrid, or a driver. Your tempo stays constant. So you ask, well, okay, if my tempo stays the same, how is it I swing a longer club at the same time frame that I swing a shorter club? Purely simple. Just like I said, the head is moving faster and covers greater territory in the same amount of time. What happens here is that golfers will have a specific tempo that is ideal for them. It's almost like your personality. Let's use me and Serge as an example. Serge is very high-strung, gregarious, just. And I'm sure most of you know by now, I'm just kind of easygoing, you know, almost to the point of being lethargical, just nice and smooth. Well, if you look at our swings, they're almost a mirror of our personality. Mine's quite long and slow. Don's is very short and abrupt. Again, it goes back with our personality. His tempo is much quicker than mine. We've measured his tempo with the driver. It's like 0.78 tenths of a second. Mine with the driver is 1.28 tenths of a second. Now, where you get in trouble is when you try to make shots and you vary that tempo. When does that normally happen? When you're under stress, you've got a shot to pull off that you're not comfortable with, so it's a fear factor, or you're going to try and reach back and grab a little extra and hit it a little harder. It doesn't work. When you alter that tempo, you're going to alter the results of the swing, and generally in a negative way. Now, as we said, tempo is a matter of timing. It's a measure of time. Now, I go a little further when I'm working with people, and I get into, from having a little bit of a musical background as well, I get into dealing with rhythm. And I use rhythm to mean how you manage and deliver that tempo. For example, tempo. Okay? This is a nice, smooth, rhythmical tempo. It's a timing. If you measured the time from pulling the hand back till it makes impact, you'll see it's pretty even. Now, I can deliver pretty much the same tempo that I'm doing here, but alter the rhythm. And see, if you measure the time, we're talking pretty much the same thing. So what happens, that golfer alters his rhythm in his tempo. He will take the club back quite abruptly or deliver it real abruptly, which changes his rhythm in his tempo. One of the things that pro golfers are practicing daily by hitting so many golf balls, two things. They're ingraining ball position and they're ingraining and sticking with their tempo. Now, another terminology that we need to address along in here with tempo rhythm is timing. You need to understand what timing is. Timing is that position in the golf swing when you're bringing the club face back in and squaring it up. You can release too early, you can release too late. That throws your timing off. It's going to shoot the ball off in all kinds of different directions. So altering your tempo can alter your rhythm, which will also alter your timing, which will alter your golf shot, and it's not a real good thing. So a suggestion on how to find your correct tempo. Take your favorite club, go out and just hit golf balls. Get the feel of making a swing and seeing your shots. What is your tempo like? Take that and translate it to every other golf club. When you get on the course and you feel yourself getting tense, you've got a shot to pull off that's causing a little fear, back off, take some breaths, and make that nice, smooth swing. Just shut your eyes, get the feel, and then step in and replicate that tempo. Well, that's it for today. If you have any questions, as always, please feel free to email or give us a call, and we'll do our best to answer them. Thank you for your continued support, and remember, better golf is just a fit away.